Grand Rising family. I'm gonna play a little Yada Yada 7, give people an opportunity to be notified before we begin. So we got a little Israeli news live going into the Nag Hammadi a couple days ago. I want to talk about that, how slick they are with giving you a little snippet with not letting you know where they got it from, what book in the Nag Hammadi he was reading from, and it's the same things over and over again. Come over here, get some information, try to use it. We've been talking about the Nag Hammadi for years. This dude, Stephen Banoon, we actually got into the origins of the world, but of course, he didn't tell anyone that's what the book he was reading. He just said, "Oh, I'm reading from this Nag Hammadi. It's not biblical, but it's got a historicity we're going to look at, and we're going to use it to break down prophecy." I'm like, well, if you're using the Nag Hammadi to kind of give you an understanding about scripture, wouldn't that kind of make it a prophetic book? Wouldn't that kind of make it something biblical? But again, that's how they roll. You know, many of the things that are being talked about are in these other books, are in the Nag Hammadi, things you're seeing today. This is why the vast majority of the world is so lost as far as understanding. We're also going to be getting back into our book here. You're going to be seeing it a little bit, but the 12 tribes in outer space. Going to be getting into that as well. And Sister Eva sent me a link to the PDF because you can't buy that book anywhere now. And it's just funny how these guys try to make it sound like there's only 800 people, 900 people here, but books that we talk about just get sold out real quick. People that have 400,000 subscribers, channels that have those kind of viewership supposedly, are copying books that we read over here. You know, I said it's been just a proven fact that you guys have been manipulating numbers, stopping my numbers from moving, my people who are subscribers. And it's just, but it's like, it doesn't matter because this truth is still getting out. You guys are, you got to try to diminish where you're getting your information from, getting your understanding. But you're going to see today when we get talking about Banoon's Israeli News Lives, you're going to have to watch the video on your own. I'm not going to play it because you know how these people get. If I play their videos, they might try to give me a strike or whatever else. But the first 5 to 7 minutes of his video, he gets into the Nag Hammadi. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But before we begin, let's go ahead and listen to a little Yada Yada 7, Psalms 121 here in Hebrew. Get right a chance to get notified before they come in. Let's get to it real fast, family.
Heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold. He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen.
Yashamoya Yahawa Tazalia Al Yum Yum Yaya Hashema Shala Ahakaya Yahawa Wala Alabana Alayala
Yahweh, Yashamoria, Makal, Rai, Yashamor, Napasha, Yahweh, Yashamor, Hawalakya, Wa'aya, Ma'aitha, Wa'aid, Hawalam, Aman. Anasha, Ayanyamya, Al, Baharyam, Aya, Yabawa'a, Izaria, Yabawa'a, Mayahawa, Sha'anshaw, Shemayam, Warataza, La'a, Yanathan, Lamawat, Regalia, Yala'a, Nawam, Shashamoria, Hana, Yala'a, Nawam, Wala'a, Yashan, Shasha, Lamar, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Shemaria, Yahweh, Tazalia, Isle, Yum Yum Ya, Hashemash, Yala'a, Hakaya, Ayawam, Wala'a, Alabana, Alayala, Yahweh, Yashemaria, Makal, Rai, Yashemar, Nepasha, Yahweh, Yashemar, Hawalakya, Wabawa'aya, Ma'aitha, Wa'aid, Awalam, Aman.
Now, let me show you real quick. This was the video, and maybe it's the first 5 to 7 minutes. If you have an opportunity while we're going over this, if you have an opportunity to kind of play it and listen, it's only a couple minutes clip of him actually going into this. Maybe, around the 4-minute mark, maybe it goes for about 2 minutes. He gets into the Nag Hammadi. Stephen Banoon here, and it's funny because what you're going to see is that they keep talking about these scriptures as if it's applying to their people. Next, I'm not going to play the clip because you know how they do. They'll be trying to get strikes on your channel and whatever else. If you got a minute or two, just run over there and just listen to this little section, because he'll go, oh, well, in Egypt they found these books and the Nag Hammadi, and they're not biblical, but they're good for history. But we're going to take this section and we're going to apply it to what we're seeing going on today. And he's talking about how Ish is fulfilling prophecy, but not in a good way. Now I'm like, okay, you guys can't keep saying that these are the people and that they're fulfilling prophecy, but they're doing it in a bad way. If they're fulfilling prophecy in a bad way, that means that they are on the opposite side of the Most High. See, Israel's already done their part of playing the bad guy, getting in trouble, doing things wrong. True Israel's already paid for their sins. These people have not paid for their sins. In fact, they're still doing all these things today, and they seem to think they never have to pay for anything. And you're right, Brother Sly. He doesn't dictate what is and what isn't canon, what isn't accepted. You guys have lost that. You guys never had that authority in the first place. So just if you got a quick minute or two, just check out, around the 4-minute, 3.5-minute mark, and just listen to it. Okay. I'll play a little bit more Yada Yada 7 just so at least you get some context of what they're doing. Look at what he shows you. Look, there are sections before, there are sections afterwards. And it gives you a really good understanding as to who this is talking about. So let me just give you a quick 2.5 minutes to go ahead and check that out real fast. So let me just play a little more Yada Yada 7 while you guys do that. So just go look that one up real fast and just check it out real quick. Very true, Alma Miller. They're digging a deeper pit for themselves. Okay, so I should give you a little bit of time to kind of check that part out real quick. Okay, so I kind of do this a little bit backwards. So let me start the Nag Hammadi portion first. We're gonna get into the lost tribes from outer space, a couple of pages from there, and I'm gonna try to put the copy for the link so you've already looked it up online, the PDF version. Okay. So, do you guys have a chance to kind of listen to it? Right, brothers? Did you hear him right there? He's full of. Did you guys have a chance to listen to what he said? I didn't want to. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to waste my time playing it. But if you look at what he posted here, did you guys notice how he didn't tell you? He just mentioned the Nag Hammadi, but he didn't tell you which book in the Nag Hammadi he was reading this from. Did you guys all notice that? It's just like a pastor. You know, they'll read it, they'll tell you a verse or whatever else. They'll just say, oh, well, in this chapter it says this, or in this book it says that, but they don't tell you exactly where, so you can read around it. Hope you guys notice that. It's something they always do because see, they don't encourage you to read for yourself. Absolutely right, Seiko Gilchrist. No receipts whatsoever. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you where in my book it has this area, it has this information, and you can look around because you're going to tell it's not them. And see, this is what, now that we are in this new era of time, see, they're still thinking that their power is derived from weapons and destruction and their military and, that kind of military might, but see, real power in this time is knowledge and understanding. We have angels. We have angels that protect us. We have powerful entities around us. Entities and powers and that you guys cannot go against. So our angels could destroy you at the snap of a finger if the Most High decreed it. If the Most High wanted you just destroyed, he would have already destroyed you by now. Do you not see how all these people are just dropping dead left and right every single day? So see, true power is demonstrated by the knowledge and understanding that you have been blessed with. If you have not been blessed with knowledge and understanding, then you have absolutely no power whatsoever. Your power or your belief of power is in your weapons and things like that. But true knowledge and understanding comes from the Most High, which is what the true power is right now. This is why you guys are all relegated to coming to these channels like this one and finding this information. Oh, look at what we found. And, we're going to try to give everybody our breakdown. But as you can see, their breakdown is absolutely ridiculous because they're trying to make Ish the people. And you're going to see real quick that Ish does not fit these prophecies whatsoever. Right? So he talks about how before the consummation of the age, the whole place will shake with great thundering. Then the rulers will be sad, their death. The angels will mourn for their mankind, and the demons will weep over their seasons. And their mankind will wail and scream at their death. Since you see, and their mankind. So demons have their mankind as well. And they're going to be wailing and screaming at their death because they're going to realize that they've been living for these dainties here. Right? And they're going to realize that they got the short end of the stick. They're going to realize that the devils that they have been worshiping have made them an enemy to the true Most High, to the true power. This is why as you look at all of your feeds on all these social media platforms, it's all the same thing over and over again. Death, destruction. They'll admit that there's issues, that they'll admit that they've been lied to, but they won't take that next step. If you realize now that everything's a lie, look, we've been telling you everything's been a lie for years, for decades, for centuries. But you have ignored everything that we've said because you wanted those dainties, right? So let's take a look here at what the true Nag Hammadi is talking about in this section here. This is not going to move. Okay. So this is what my Nag Hammadi looks like right here. Okay. Been going over the Nag Hammadi for years. Now, he's reading from the end of the age, and it is from, if you look at the top, right, the Nag Hammadi scriptures, page 220. It's the origins of the world. That's where the book is that he's reading from right here. Okay, that's another one, but it's the origins of the world, page 220. And if you look, before the end of the age, this whole region will shake with loud thunder. The archons will lament because of their fear of death, because they know that they have to pay for all the things that they've been doing to the Most High's people and to his creation. The angels will grieve for their human beings. The demons will weep over their times and seasons, and their people will mourn and cry on the account of their death. Okay, so that's pretty close to what he was reading, right? So they're gonna be lamenting over their people, over the people that have been worshiping the demons and their seasons and their time of their blessings, right? But see, they want to make it sound like these are things that are going to happen in the future. But see, their demons and their counterparts have been reigning this whole time, right? So, but let's continue. Then the age will come, and they will be disturbed. See, we switched ages. They don't want to tell you that part. Their kings will be drunk from the flaming sword and will wage war against each other. Now, see, yeah, you're going to fight, but you're going to fight because it's the end of your season. Not because they're going to fight because the Antichrist is now going to come on the scene and blah, 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 all this. No, you've already had your time. You've already had your blessing. And now your kings are going to wage war against each other, so that the earth will be drunk from the blood that is poured out. The seas will be troubled by war. The sun will darken and the moon will lose its light. The stars of the sky will abandon their circuits, and loud thunder will roar from a great power above the powers of chaos, from the firmament of the female is from where the firmament of the female is located. She had produced the first creation, and now she will put away her wise fire of all of afterthought and put on irrational wrath, which is what we were talking about as far as our Holy Spirit. She's going to put off her wise fire of afterthought and put on irrational wrath. Now it goes back to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10. And who was the one that was there helping us all the time? The Holy Spirit. She's been there this whole time. She was the one that got us through all the times of Egypt. She is getting ready to put on irrational wrath. But you see how smooth Stephen Banoon was with not showing you this part. You see that? You've got to look at what they hide. But this is why you have to really understand these books. You have to know these books. And if you've only been reading, it's funny how all of a sudden all these Gentiles want to get into other books. All of a sudden now they want to get into the Nag Hammadi, but they only want to bring up little sections of it. They're not going to go that deep into it. They're going to just show you. Look, he only showed you one little section. And there's all this other information about how the mother is going to bring irrational wrath. She's been watching what you've been doing to her children, and she's about to be released on you. Now, there's even more. Let's continue. Keep on going. Pistis Sophia will drive out the gods of chaos. Who? Pistis Sophia will drive out the gods of chaos, whom she had created along with the chief creator, and she will cast them down to the abyss. They will be wiped out through their own injustice. So all the things that you guys have been doing, all the garbage you guys have been pulling, you guys are about to get destroyed, right? Through your own injustice. They will be like mountains blazing with fire, and they will consume one another until they are destroyed by their chief creator. When he destroys them, he will turn on himself and attack himself until he is no more. Now see, there's no getting around what is coming. You see what I'm saying? There's no getting around what is coming. This is why they are catching hell, because it's that time. Your time of blessing is over with. But see, just look at how slick Stephen Banoon was by Israeli News Live. He did not show you any of this, right? He just showed you one little clip, and then he was real quick to just cut it off. He didn't want to get into all the other stuff, all the destruction is coming for the things that they were doing to the Most High's chosen people. This is the end of an age, of their age. Now, read this part to you. The heavens of the gods of chaos will collapse upon one another, and their powers will be consumed. Their realms will also be overthrown, right? The chief creator's heaven will fall and split in half. So this is showing you what's happening, what's on the docket, what's on tap right now. And they want you to still believe that you got a 7-year tribulation. You guys got to be, you other nation got to be real careful. I said, because see, someone that has the Holy Spirit going to be led to your videos and is going to be able to just expose your BS, expose your lies. But see, if you kept us, the ones who are still stuck in 66 books, 80 books, they're not going to, this is stuff that's going to go right over them. Just like you guys did with the Bible and how you guys were able to just get rid of all the precepts so you can just give your breakdowns on everything. That's what you guys have been able to do. That won't work with someone who has the Holy Spirit, who's been prepared for these times. Those kinds of tactics don't work on us because we've already read all the stuff that you are trying to bring out now. So we know when you're fronting. We know when you're lying. We know when you're trying to hide something. And you know what? You're always trying to hide stuff because you don't have understanding. You see what I'm saying? So now let's continue, because there's also information before this. So if you look now at the end of the age there at the bottom, there's information here at the top that gives you more understanding. Jesus, the Word, right? The Word, who is above all, was sent for one reason only, to announce what is unknown. He said, there is nothing hidden that is not apparent, and what has not been known will be known. These people were sent to reveal what is hidden and expose the 7 authorities of chaos and their godlessness. And that's exactly what we've been sent to do, right? These people were sent to reveal what is hidden. That's exactly what we've been doing. Reading other books, getting other information, putting things together. We have been sent to reveal what is hidden. See, the churches don't do that. They are confederate with hiding everything. Your pastors, your priests, that's all that they do. Tell you, don't read this, don't do that. Just go to church, just get that feeling, of togetherness and whatever else, but don't read for yourself, don't study for yourself, right? So again, these people were sent to reveal what is hidden and expose the 7 authorities of chaos and their godlessness. And so they were condemned to death, right? And we've been condemned to death. That's what's been going on with our people being condemned. That's where I read about Isaiah being cut in half because he was bringing information that was hidden. Our Israelite brothers and sisters who were condemned to death during the Inquisition. See, these things never stopped until now, because now we're in a different era. But while they were in their blessing, they were able to just kill us because we were bringing information and understanding about what was hidden. So they were condemned to death. When all those who are perfect appeared in the modeled bodies of the rulers and revealed matchless truth, they put to shame all the wisdom of the gods. And that's exactly, those are the prophecies you're seeing going on right now. We have appeared in these modeled bodies, these vehicles that we are in. And these have been set up by the rulers of this society, of this matrix, right? These demons, these archons. So when all those who are perfect appeared in the modeled bodies of the rulers and revealed matchless truth, they put to shame all the wisdom of the gods. Is that not what's going on today? The real people of the Most High have been put in these bodies, and they bring matchless truth. These other nations are not capable of coming against this knowledge and understanding. This is how you see who really has power, who the Most High is really dealing with. He's not dealing with these other nations. They don't have matchless truth, right? So that's what you're seeing going on right now. So, and what is this? When you reveal this matchless truth, what happens? They put to shame all the wisdom of the gods. So all these menial gods that are here, this destroys all their wisdom. It shows you that they don't have any wisdom. So it says their fate was condemnation. Their power was dried up. Their dominion was dissolved. Their forethought was empty, as was their glory. You see that right there? So this is why these people don't show you the whole page. They don't show you all the information, because then you're going to realize that they don't have any knowledge. They don't have any understanding. They don't have any power whatsoever. And that if they want to get some understanding, that they are to cleave to the Israelites. They are to cleave to these people. You see? This is why they don't get into other books. Okay? So now I want to go back to show you guys something. Well, before we do that, let me show you something here. Okay. Because as you can see, these other nations are losing they're losing their mind. But see, this is what happens when your pastors and your priests and people that you look to for information understanding show you little clips but hide everything around it. And this is why now that you're getting some understanding a little bit about how bad society is, you don't understand the next step. The reason why your societies are falling apart is because of what you've done to the Most High's people. And your blessing is over with. So I want to show this video, share it with me. I want to share it with you. So let's check this one out.
For those of you who are awake, I think I've been awake for 5 to 6 years now. partially awake prior to that. I have, over time, through research, realized that everything I was taught in school, our history, was a lie. All of it. It's all a lie. We haven't been told the truth about anything. Um, I, I, I don't believe anything we've been told is the truth. It is so far off from the truth. It's scary. Who else on the side of being awake? Like, if you know you're awake, you know you're awake. But who else on the awake side are having a really hard time interacting with people who are completely asleep? Like, I can't just get together with people and be like, oh yeah, the weather is sports. Oh, how's the kids? And not talk about the fact our country's being invaded. We are losing. This is the fall of Rome. We are living through the fall of Rome right now. Our country is being invaded. Our government has been taken over. There was a coup involved. The people running our government right now are all paid off and corrupt. Every one of them. I don't care. Congress, Senate, House, doesn't matter. I think most of them are compromised. They're not representing the people at all. And I'm just at the point where I want something to happen. I'm done. I can't. I get up and go to work every day. I'm like, why am I doing this? What is this for? So it can all end next week when our government decides to fucking poison us or whatever they're going to do. I just... It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. Make something happen. I don't care. It can be bad. Have the UN show up and knock on my door and arrest me. Whatever you motherfuckers have planned for us, let's just do it. Because this waiting game is getting really old. I'm tired.
So you can see that they just want to be put out of their misery. They don't want to have to wait anymore. They're dismayed. But it's funny because it's like you guys say like, oh, everything we've been told is a lie. But you still believe Ish is the people? Or Ish are the people? You still believe those people over there are the Most High chosen people? If you believe that you've been lied to about everything, then that would mean you need to start questioning what your pastors and your priests have been telling you. See, when you question, now that you say that, oh, our politicians are lying to you, well, who controls your religions? The government. So if your governments are lying to you about everything else, what would make you think that they're not lying to you about who the real Israelites are, where the real Holy Land is, who are the real aboriginals of these lands? You see what I'm saying? Don't sit here and say that, oh man, everything's a lie, but my pastors aren't lying to me. My priests aren't lying to me. See, they're lying to you about absolutely everything. Now you got to take the next, and it's up to you to take those next steps. Not sit around here and thinking that just by admitting that your government's been lying to you. We've been telling you all these things forever. But you guys wanted to just ignore it because you were getting your blessing. You got to go all the way. None of this half stepping mess, okay? That's if you guys are really about it. Most of these people ain't about it anyways. They're upset because they're not getting their blessings anymore. That's all that is. Okay? So let's get into this real quick. So here we go. Now we're going to get into our book, The Lost Tribes from Outer Space. So you guys can't keep on just talking about how you realize you've been lied to. Yeah, you've been lied to about everything. Oh, yeah, everything's a lie. Yeah. So are who you say the chosen people are. You've been lied to about who you should be blessing. You've been lied to about who you should be cursing. When we look at this information from this book, look and see who fits these prophecies. Look who fits these dynamics. Ish doesn't fit any of them, but you guys will still believe that garbage. You see what I'm saying? You'll still go on that and still want to believe that mess, right? So let's go. We're going to take a look again at the Lost Tribes from Outer Space. And it's amazing how All of a sudden now you can't buy this book anymore. But we only have, a few hundred people here supposedly. But you can't even, we read this book real quick and now you can't find it anywhere. Because like I said, they know. So they are listening and trying to do what we do, but it's impossible. The spirit is not dealing with them, right? They're not dealing with them whatsoever. So let me go back here. So everybody got a chance to see that. We're going to take a look at some parts of this right here. Then racism was born, but the more harshly they were treated, the more their numbers increased. I want the Israelites beyond all bounds until the Egyptians came to loathe the sight of them. These Egyptians came to loathe the sight of the Israelites. Is that not what's happened to us this whole time? These nations, like I've talked about this before, have to have us around, but they hate us because we condemn them. They know that every time they look at us, they know that they're going to have to pay for what's being done with them. So they know that their spirits are vexed, right? So like I said, when you're looking at these books and you're looking at the stuff, just look, you can see who fits what's being written here. Pharaoh took successive measures. First, he tried to make the Hebrews die of overwork by ruthlessly imposing heavy labor on them. Then he practiced birth control by the barbarous method available to him, or most barbarous, right? Barbarous. Neither contraception nor abortion, but infanticide. Now, these people try to kill our kids. That's not what they've done all the way up until now with Planned Parenthood, killing our people on the streets, letting the cops do whatever the hell they wanted to do and never having to pay, making us kill, each other, putting drugs in our communities. This wasn't happening to Ish. These are the things that were happening to us. And even through all of this, we're still here. Even through all this, we still thrive. Forced sterilization, exactly. Cutting off our genitals, all those things. And even through all that, we're still here. That did not happen to Ish. That did not happen to them. And it's not happening to them still. These are things that never stop because the curses were on with us perpetually to the end. Right? So they don't fit any of these things. It says he ordered Hebrew midwives to kill all the boys at birth, allowing only girls to live. His order was overridden by the midwives' fear of Yahweh. They craftily told stories how he could not verify. Hebrew women, they said, did not give birth in the same way as Egyptian women. They expelled their babies before a midwife had time to come. So they know that our women are special. They know that our women are strong, so they understood these kinds of things. Again, this is not happening to these other nations. This happens to Israel. Right now, you got all these people who can't even have kids. You got them not being able to have children at this point. So these things are still going on even today. The other nations are having a hard time with birth, giving birth, and all those things, right? So let's continue. Again, these fit Israelites, even to today. Right here at the top. This is very important. There was one alternative that Pharaoh either rejected or did not even think of, expelling the Hebrews from Egypt. Now, see, they always talk about how they were always kicking out Ish. All these other countries would get pissed off and kick Ish out, right? We don't want them here. They're messing with they're using usury. They're taking over everything through money, everything else. But see, the true Israelites, these other nations never wanted to get rid of, never wanted to expel them. So again, that does not fit Ish either. Remember all these stories, right? About the Hebrews and things like that getting kicked out. Well, Ish getting kicked out of all these European countries because of the things they were doing. Well, back in the day, and even till to now, that's not the case. Okay, so it says there wasn't one alternative for Pharaoh either rejected or did not even think of expelling the Hebrews from Egypt. He did not want to lose his machines. Egypt became for Israel the house of slaves. When he was grown, the spare child had to perform great feats to open the path of Exodus to his people. A ruler does not willingly give up his Jews. See that? A ruler does not willingly give up his Jews. He prefers to oppress them at home. as history shows by many examples. If he has no Jews, he gets some. Is that not what happened here? You know, when they were supposed to be building up these lands, who do they get to work the lands for them? The Israelites. You see what I'm saying? He wouldn't got the Israelites. So that's funny. Why don't they go pick up some Ish? Why don't they go pick up some of them to build up their lands? Because those people don't build up anything. Because those aren't the real Israelites. The true Israelites are the foundation of any great society. So like that, if he has no Jews, he gets some. 800 years later, Nebuchadnezzar, not satisfied with having demolished Jerusalem, deported the elite of the kingdom of Judah or Judea to the banks of the Euphrates, where they stayed for half a century. Again, I don't have any Jews. I'm going to go get some. You see? Exactly. It's always wanting to play the victim. The Jews were not the only people who underwent slavery and captivity in ancient times, but they were more deeply marked by the experience than others, for reasons that will gradually become apparent in this book. The most beautiful poems of distress have come from, say Jewish lips, Israelite lips, right? As though that small persecuted people knew that their suffering was inevitable because it was linked to the mission they had been given. We had been given this mission to be at the bottom for a time. I cried aloud to the Most High. I cried to the Most High, and he heard me. In the day of my distress, I sought the Lord. And by night, I lifted my outspread hands in prayers. I lay sweating, and nothing could cool me. I refuse all comfort. Now, Ish today, they're not praying to the Lord. They're praying to America. They're praying to the European nations to send them some more weapons, right? Send them some more weapons to defend themselves. You see what I'm saying? All that. So they're just showing you that true Israel, like the other nations, are always trying to go, and if they don't have any Israelites, they're trying to go get some and get them to come in and work. Because like I said, we are the foundation of any great society, of any society whatsoever. See that? So let's continue. Again, this does not fit Ish whatsoever. Next. Then came the greatest of all attacks against the Jews. Nothing less than their total destruction was planned and partially carried out by modern methods of extermination. See, you can keep running again to World War II. As if, look, if these are the real people, you should have plenty of examples for the last 2,000 years. We're not going to just harp on what happened in one particular time frame, but they're not going to do that. When the Nazi adventure was over, one might have expected that the monstrousness of its enterprise would be followed by a reaction of equal intensity, that the Jews would be given too much after having had everything taken away from them. Now, our people had everything taken away from them, but no one, there was never, moving to giving us too much. They never gave us any of that because, see, again, you destroy the real people, but then you give the reparations to someone else. Just like we fought for equal rights, but you give equal rights to everyone else, but not us. You talk about World War II and the things that happened to them, but now people have taken that pendulum and swung it so far the other direction and given them way too much, which is exactly what has happened, right? So it goes that the Jews would be given too much after having had everything taken away from them, that the blood of their martyrs would give rise to privileges, which is exactly what happened to the other nations. It is true that they are protected by new laws. Yes, they are. That their territory has been authoritatively carved out for them, and that they will now have allies who openly support them. See, these are all things that never were supposed to happen to the real Israelites because they were going to be under a perpetual slavery and at the bottom this whole time. But what do they do? Where they're going to go from that to saying that this is what they have to worry about all the time. But anti-Semitism is still vigilant, ready to burst out again at any time. So therefore, you got to give these people so much extra right now because there's just a chance of something happening to them, as opposed to the fact that things have been happening to us this whole time. But let me show me if this would happen to Ish right here, this bottom section. To sum up, all forms of oppression have been used against the Jews, against the Israelites. Massacre, torture to us, selective laws, redlining, among others. All these laws have been set up against the Israelites. Economic persecution. Yep. All those things that you set up all these opportunities for everyone else, but taking all advantages away from us. In fact, put us at a disadvantage worldwide. Expulsion, kicking us out. Refusal to let them leave a country where violence was being inflicted on them. Yep, right here. Violence being inflicted on our people. We can't leave. See that right there? Same thing. Segregation in ghettos. That's what happens to us now. Is Ish being segregated in ghettos right now? Absolutely not. So segregation in ghettos, religious pressure, yeah, forcing us to go to their churches, right? If you try to do your own thing, you're a heretic, you're going to hell. You try to guilt you into going into their churches. Same thing. Obligation to embrace a faith that was not theirs. That's why everyone else has a God that looks like them, but we are stuck with white Jesus. Black people stuck praising Cesare Borgia, suffering the God of a European. So again, embrace a faith that was not theirs. Destruction of their sacred books. Yep, you destroyed our books. You came over here to the Americas and you burned all of our books, or then you told us that they're not good anymore and we can't look at them. That didn't happen to Ish. That's not happening to Ish. That happened to them when they got here. So they burned all these books over here, right? Telling us what you can only read 66 books. That's all we've canonized, right? So destruction of their sacred books and places of worship. Just like I showed you guys about our pyramids and over there in Cholula, and they're building churches on top of our places and saying that's sacred to them. So therefore we can't take advantage of the ley lines and the power that's there. Distinctive emblems and other humiliations, not the least of which was the reduction of Jews to the state of merchandise. When has Ish been made into merchandise? When? See, they're going to go back to one time. So right there, reduction of Jews to the state of merchandise. There was a time when the German emperors negotiated their Jews like bills of exchange, borrowing on them as Gogol's hero did on his dead serfs. Same thing they've been doing to us. That's what your whole Wall Street was set up on slaves. All the things you guys have set up, your Wall Street, your banking sector, all of that set up on people that were treated as merchandise. Professional sports leagues, all that. You see? That did not happen to Ish. But they try their best to make it seem so. So again, we're talking about Israeli News Live right there. Going again, getting our information right there. And then making it seem at the universities, all that. You're right. Based off slave labor. Still haven't lost their identity. Exactly. So, right, American elites are just in awe of our awakening that has been prophesied in Ezekiel. They just won't admit the truth. Exactly. So they're going to keep coming over here, getting our information, making it seem as if it's theirs, try to break it down for themselves, but it's not going to work. As you can see, this Lost Tribes from Outer Space, I said it's got so much information. So much information. But this is where we are right now. You're not going to get any light from these other nations because they don't have any. They don't have any. And I want to say a special prayer to any and everyone who has been supporting myself and the other Israelites. Our job is to pray for you when you support us. And I want to make sure that we all, if you get some kind of support from the other nations, pray for them. Give a special prayer out for them because that is our job, right? They are to support us. We are to pray for the ones that cling to us. That is how the Most High has set this up. They don't have the opportunity to get this knowledge, understanding. So they should be waiting here for when the true Israelites bring out the truth and be willing to accept it. Because those are the times you're not going to get any truth from these people. As you can see, I can already tell you, they're going to show you a little bit of information and then give their own breakdown. They're going to show a little bit of information and try to steer it to fit their doctrine. But their doctrine is now falling flat on its face. If you listen to them, you've grown absolutely none. You are still stuck believing all the same BS and garbage that they have been pushing for centuries, because they have no truth in them whatsoever. And I pray that the Most High is sending the Holy Spirit to wake up some of you Gentiles, to pray to the Israelites, to bless the Israelites, in order for you to be able to receive some type of mercy and some type of understanding. You have supported these other people who have been lying to you. It is now your time and opportunity to support the people who are now have been blessed to bring you the truth. So I definitely want to say I'm praying for the ones who are supporting us in any way. I said, because that is the job that the Most High has tasked us with. He's let you see all this information, this understanding that we're bringing out. And I dare any of these other nations to give their breakdown, not just on little snippets, but on everything. Show your whole hand. Don't just show what one finger is bringing out. You see what I'm saying? Don't try to just show you one little snippet of information and hide everything else. You can see right through these tactics here. That's all that they've done this whole time. But I want to say much love, family. It was great hanging out with you. Thanks again for all the support. Thanks for all the love, right? And also to the Cleveland Gentiles. You know, I said same thing for you. Thank you to my Israelite brothers and sisters who support me, your prayers, everything that you've done for me over the years. I appreciate you. Gentiles, same thing. And I pray that the Most High gives you knowledge, understanding, and He covers you in His wings as we start to see many of these great events starting to come to pass. Listening to these people is nothing but a joke. They have no understanding. We've challenged them for years to prove us wrong, to prove what we're bringing out wrong. And you see that they don't do absolutely any of that because they can't. They couldn't do it even before we were in our blessing. And while they were in their blessing, we were in our curses. They still couldn't prove anything wrong. Now that the Most High sent the Holy Spirit and she's given us more knowledge, you can see they've got nothing. And they will continue to have nothing. And they will like it. Much love, family. Shalom.